Question 1. Which of the following scenarios best illustrates the concept of indemnity in home insurance? A. Jane's home insurance policy pays for the full replacement cost of her damaged kitchen appliances, regardless of their original value. B. John's insurance policy reimburses him for the actual cash value of his lost jewelry considering depreciation since the purchase date. C. Sarah's policy covers the full value of her antique furniture regardless of wear and tear after a fire. D. Mike's policy provides compensation equal to the original purchase price of his electronics minus the deductible amount after theft. Answer. B. John's insurance policy reimburses him for the actual cash value of his lost jewelry considering depreciation since the purchase date. Explanation. Indemnity is a principle in insurance that aims to restore the insured to their financial position before the loss without providing a profit. This means that compensation is based on the actual cash value, which considers depreciation. Option B aligns with this principle by reimbursing John for the actual cash value, which includes depreciation. Options A and C are incorrect because they describe policies providing replacement cost coverage, which is not the same as indemnity. Option D involves compensation that includes the deductible, but it does not align with the concept of indemnity as it focuses on replacement rather than depreciation. Question 2. In Hawaii, which of the following is NOT typically covered under standard homeowners insurance policy? A. Water damage from a burst pipe inside the house. B. Flood damage due to heavy rainfall or rise in water. C. Theft of personal property from a detached garage. D. Vandalism to a vacant property awaiting sale. Answer. B. Flood damage due to heavy rainfall or rising water. Explanation. Standard homeowners insurance policies generally do not cover flood damage. Flood insurance is typically a separate policy often purchased through the National Flood Insurance Program (NFIP) or private insurers. Options A, C, and D represent situations usually covered under a standard homeowners policy, which includes damage from internal water sources, theft and vandalism. Question 3, scenario-based. Mr. Thompson's house was recently damaged due to a severe storm, resulting in significant roof damage and water intrusion into the living room. He has a standard HO3 policy. What should Mr. Thompson do to ensure his insurance claim is processed efficiently? A. Immediately begin repairs on the roof before contacting his insurance company, as it will speed up the claim process. B. Document the damage thoroughly with photographs, keep records of any temporary repairs, and notify his insurance company to file a claim. C. Wait until the insurance adjuster arrives before doing anything about the damage to avoid any potential issues with the claim. D. Dispose of all damaged items before the insurance adjuster visits to prevent any complications with the claim. Answer. B. Document the damage thoroughly with photographs, keep records of any temporary repairs, and notify his insurance company to file a claim. Explanation. The correct approach is to document the damage and any temporary repairs while notifying the insurance company. This ensures that there is a clear record of the damage and any actions taken, which helps in the claims process. Immediate repairs, option A, may complicate the process if the damage is not properly documented beforehand. Waiting for the adjuster, option C, or disposing of damaged items, option D, could lead to issues with proving the extent of the damage and could delay the claim. Proper documentation and prompt notification are crucial in handling insurance claims efficiently. Question 4. Which of the following situations is covered under a standard HO3 homeowners insurance policy? A. Damage to personal property caused by an earthquake. B. Loss of income due to the inability to rent out a property after a fire. C. Repair costs for a roof damaged by a hailstorm. D. Damage to a neighbor's property due to a fallen tree from Mr. Smith's yard. Answer. C. Repair costs for a roof damaged by a hailstorm. Explanation. A standard HO3 policy typically covers damage to the home and its contents caused by perils such as hailstorms. Earthquake damage, option A, requires a separate earthquake insurance policy. Loss of rental income, option B, might be covered under loss of use coverage, but it is not a standard coverage. Damage to a neighbor's property, option D, is covered under liability coverage, not dwelling or personal property coverage. Question 5. Under Hawaii's insurance regulations, what is the maximum deductible typically allowed for hurricane damage? A. 1% of the insured value of the property. B. 2% of the insured value of the property. C. 5% of the insured value of the property. D. 10% of the insured value of the property. Answer. C. 5% of the insured value of the property. Explanation: in Hawaii, hurricane deductibles often range from 1% to 5% of the insured value of the property. For many policies, especially in high-risk areas, the deductible for hurricane damage is set at 5%. Options A, B, and D do not reflect the typical range for hurricane deductibles in Hawaii. Question 6. Which endorsement is typically used to cover valuable personal property like jewelry and art under a homeowner's insurance policy? A. Ordinance or law endorsement. B. Scheduled personal property endorsement. C. Equipment breakdown endorsement. D. Water backup endorsement. Answer: B. Scheduled personal property endorsement. Explanation: the scheduled personal property endorsement is used to provide additional coverage for high-value items such as jewelry, art, and collectibles. The other endorsements listed cover different types of risks. Ordinance or law endorsement. A. Deals with code upgrades. Equipment breakdown endorsement. C. Covers mechanical breakdowns and water backup endorsement. D. Addresses issues from sump pump failures or sewer backups. Question 7. Scenario-based. MS. Green's home was severely damaged by a tornado. She has a HO5 policy and discovers that some of her high-value electronics and fine art are not covered under her standard policy limits. What should MS Green do to ensure adequate coverage? A. Increase her standard policy limit to include all high-value items. B. Purchase a separate policy specifically for electronics and fine art. C. Add a personal property endorsement to her existing HO5 policy for the high-value items. D. Rely on the coverage provided by her homeowner's policy without making any changes. Answer: C. Add a personal property endorsement to her existing HO5 policy for the high-value items. Explanation: the HO5 policy generally offers broad coverage, but high-value items often require additional endorsement to ensure full coverage. Adding a personal property endorsement allows MS Green to specifically cover her electronics and fine art beyond the standard limits of her policy. Options A and B are less efficient and may not be necessary if an endorsement suffices. Option D would leave her underinsured for high-value items. Question 8. What does the loss of use coverage in a homeowner's insurance policy typically provide? A. Compensation for repair costs of damaged property. B. Reimbursement for temporary living expenses if the home is uninhabitable. C. Coverage for loss of personal property due to theft. D. Payment for legal fees associated with liability claims. Answer: B. Reimbursement for temporary living expenses if the home is uninhabitable. Explanation: loss of use coverage, also known as additional living expenses, reimburses the policyholder for costs incurred while the home is uninhabitable due to a covered peril. It does not cover repair costs. Option A, loss of personal property. Option C, or legal fees. Option D, which are covered by other sections of the policy. Question 9. Which of the following is an example of an exclusion commonly found in homeowners' insurance policies? A. Damage from a fire caused by a lightning strike. B. Theft of personal property from a locked vehicle. C. Water damage from a flood. D. Liability for injuries occurring on the insured property. Answer: C. Water damage from a flood. Explanation: flood damage is commonly excluded from standard homeowners insurance policies and usually requires separate flood insurance. Damage from fire, option A. Theft from a locked vehicle, option B. And liability for injuries on the property, option D, are typically covered under standard homeowners policy. Question 10. How is the premium for a homeowner's insurance policy typically affected by the presence of a security system in the home? A. It increases the premium due to additional coverage needed. B. It has no impact on the premium as security systems are not considered. C. It decreases the premium due to reduced risk of theft or damage. D. It results in a separate charge for the security system maintenance. Answer: C. It decreases the premium due to reduced risk of theft or damage. Explanation: homeowners insurance premiums are often reduced for homes equipped with security systems as they lower the risk of loss from theft and damage. This discount reflects the low risk for the insurer. Options A and D are incorrect because security systems typically reduce rather than increase the premium and do not involve separate maintenance charges. Option B is also incorrect as security systems do impact premiums. Question 11. In a typical homeowner's insurance policy, which of the following best describes the actual cash value received? Coverage. A. Coverage that pays for the replacement cost of damaged property without considering depreciation. B. Coverage that reimburses the insured for the current market value of damaged property, including depreciation. C. Coverage that pays the original purchase price of the property regardless of its current value. D. Coverage that only pays for repairs to bring the property back to its original condition. Answer: B. Coverage that reimburses the insured for the current market value of damaged property, including depreciation. Explanation: Actual cash value (SEV) coverage reimburses the insured for the current market value of damaged property after accounting for depreciation. It does not cover replacement cost without depreciation, option A, or the original purchase price, option C. ACV is designed to reflect the true value of property considering wear and tear. Option D describes a different type of coverage generally related to replacement cost. Question 12. Which of the following is typically a factor in determining the premium for a homeowner's insurance policy in Hawaii? A. The homeowner's credit score. B. The color of the house. C. The type of flooring used in the home. D. The age of the homeowner. Answer A. The homeowner's credit score. Explanation: Insurance companies often use the homeowner's credit score as a factor in determining the premium as it can reflect the risk of a claim being filed. Factors like the color of the house, option B, the type of flooring, option C, or the age of the homeowner, option D, are not standard considerations for setting premiums. Question 13. Which type of insurance policy would you typically recommend for a condominium owner who wants coverage for both the unit and personal belongings? A. HO1, B. HO3, C. HO4, D. HO6. Answer: D. HO6. Explanation: The HO6 policy, also known as a condominium owner's policy, is specifically designed for condo owners that covers the interior of the unit and personal belongings, while the condominium association's insurance typically covers the building structure. HO1, option A, then HO3, option B, are for single-family homes, and HO4, option C, is for renters, not condo owners. Question 14. Which of the following scenarios would most likely be covered by a homeowner's liability insurance policy? A. Damage to the home caused by a broken water pipe. B. Injury to a guest who slips on an icy walkway at the insured's property. C. Theft of personal items from a locked vehicle parked outside the home. D. Damage to a neighbor's fence caused by a storm. Answer: B. Injury to a guest who slips on an icy walkway at the insured's property. Explanation: Liability insurance in a homeowner's policy typically covers injuries to others occurring on the insured's property due to negligence, such as a guest slipping on an icy walkway. Damage caused by a broken water pipe, option A, is covered under property damage, not liability. Theft from a vehicle, option C, is covered by auto insurance, and storm damage to a neighbor's fence, option D, is not covered under liability but may be covered by property insurance. Question 15. Which of the following endorsements would be appropriate for a homeowner who wants coverage for high-value items such as fine art or collectibles? A. Equipment breakdown endorsement. B. Scheduled personal property endorsement. C. Ordinance or law endorsement. D. Water backup endorsement. Answer: B. Scheduled personal property endorsement. Explanation: The scheduled personal property endorsement is used to specifically cover high-value items such as fine art or collectibles. Equipment breakdown endorsement, option A, covers mechanical breakdowns. Ordinance or law endorsement, option C, covers code upgrades. And water backup endorsement, option D, addresses issues related to water damage from backups, not high-value personal property. Question 16. Scenario-based. If MS. Garcia's home insurance policy includes a $500,000 dwelling coverage limit, and she experiences $200,000 in damage from a covered event, but she has a $1,000 deductible. How much will her insurance company pay for the repairs? A. $199,000. B. $200,000. C. $201,000. D. $500,000. Answer A. $199,000. Explanation: To calculate the payment, subtract the deductible from the total damage. $200,000. 1,000 ollies equals $199,000. The insurance company will cover the amount after deducting the deductible, not exceeding the policy limit. Options B and C do not account for the deductible, and D is incorrect as it exceeds the damage amount. Question 17. Which of the following is an example of a named peril policy? A. A policy that covers all risks except those explicitly excluded. B. A policy that covers only the peril specifically listed in the policy. C. A policy that provides coverage based on the value of the property. D. A policy that automatically includes additional coverage for various risks. Answer B. The policy that covers only the perils specifically listed in the policy. Explanation: a named peril policy provides coverage only for the specific perils listed in the policy, such as fire, theft, or vandalism. This contrasts with an open peril policy, option A, that covers all risks except those explicitly excluded. Options C and D refer to different types of policies or coverage features. Question 18. What is typically the role of the insurance adjuster in the claims process? A. To provide legal advice to the policyholder on filing a claim. B. To determine the validity of the claim and the amount of compensation due. C. To repair the damaged property covered by the policy. D. To handle policyholder communications and customer service inquiries. Answer: B. To determine the validity of the claim and the amount of compensation due. Explanation: an insurance adjuster assesses the claim's validity and determines the amount of compensation the policyholder is entitled to based on the policy terms and the damage reported. They do not provide legal advice. Option A. Repair property. Option C. Or handle customer service. Option D. Question 19. Which of the following is an example of a coverage limitation typically found in homeowners insurance policies? A. Coverage for accidental damage caused by a guest. B. Reimbursement for damages caused by power outages. C. Coverage for intentional acts of vandalism. D. Compensation for damages to landscaping due to a storm. Answer: D. Compensation for damages to landscaping due to a storm. Explanation: coverage for landscaping, such as trees and shrubs, is often limited or excluded in standard homeowners policies. Coverage for accidental damage, option A, and power outages, option B, may be included, while intentional vandalism, option C, is typically excluded. Question 20. In Hawaii, what does the ordinance or law endorsement typically cover? A. Costs associated with upgrading the home to meet current building codes after a covered loss. B. The cost of repairing minor damage not covered by the standard policy. C. Coverage for personal liability claims made against the policyholder. D. Expenses for temporary living arrangements while the home is being repaired. Answer A. Costs associated with upgrading the home to meet current building codes after covered loss. Explanation: the ordinance or law endorsement covers costs to upgrade the damaged property to comply with current building codes after covered loss. It does not cover minor repairs. Option B, personal liability. Option C, or temporary living expenses. Option D, which are covered by other parts of the policy. Question 21. If an insured's home is damaged by an earthquake, which policy or endorsement would most likely provide coverage for this type of loss? A. Standard homeowners policy, HO3. B. Flood insurance endorsement. C. Earthquake insurance endorsement. D. Umbrella policy. Answer: C. Earthquake insurance endorsement. Explanation: earthquake damage is not typically covered under a standard homeowners policy, HO3, or a flood insurance endorsement. An earthquake insurance endorsement, option C, is specifically designed to cover damages resulting from earthquakes. An umbrella policy, option D, provides additional liability coverage but does not cover specific types of property damage. Question 22. Which of the following is a common exclusion in a standard homeowners insurance policy? A. Damage caused by fire. B. Theft of personal property. C. Damage due to wear and tear. D. Liability for injuries on the property. Answer: C. Damage due to wear and tear. Explanation: a standard homeowners insurance policy generally excludes coverage for damage resulting from normal wear and tear. Option C. It does cover fire damage. Option A, theft of personal property. Option B, and liability for injuries on the property. Option D. Question 23. How does a replacement cost policy differ from an actual cash value policy? A. Replacement cost policies include depreciation in the payout calculation. B. Replacement cost policies do not consider depreciation when calculating payouts. C. Actual cash value policies offer higher payouts than replacement cost policies. D. Actual cash value policies cover only the cost of repairs, not replacement. Answer: B. Replacement cost policies do not consider depreciation when calculating payouts. Explanation: replacement cost policies provide coverage for the cost to replace damaged property without deducting for depreciation, whereas actual cash value policies, option A, do include depreciation in the payout calculation. Options C and D misrepresent the coverage differences between these two types of policies. Question 24. Which of the following typically would not be covered under a standard homeowner's policy? A. Vandalism caused by an unknown party. B. Accidental damage to personal property caused by the policyholder. C. Damage to property caused by a flood. D. Liability for injury to a guest on the property. Answer: C. Damage to property caused by a flood. Explanation: Standard homeowners policies generally do not cover flood damage. Option C. They typically cover vandalism. Option A. Accidental damage caused by the policyholder. Option B. And liability for injury to guests. Option D. Question 25. Scenario-based. Mr. Thompson's home was damaged by a severe storm, resulting in damage to his roof and siding. His policy includes a $2,000 deductible and $100,000 in dwelling coverage. If the total repair cost is $15,000, how much will Mr. Thompson need to pay out of pocket before his insurance coverage applies? A. $2,000. B. $13,000. C. $15,000. D. $100,000. Answer A. $2,000. Explanation: Mr. Thompson will need to pay the deductible amount of $2,000 out of pocket. The insurance company will cover the remaining cost, which is $15,000. $2,000 always equals $13,000. Options B and C do not correctly reflect the deductible. Option D is incorrect as it exceeds the repair cost. Question 26. Which type of endorsement would be most suitable for a homeowner who wants to cover damage caused by sewer backups? A. Equipment breakdown endorsement. B. Water backup and sump overflow endorsement. C. Personal property endorsement. D. Ordinance or law endorsement. Answer B. Water backup and sump overflow endorsement. Explanation: a water backup and sump overflow endorsement covers damage caused by sewer backups and sump pump failures. Equipment breakdown endorsement. Option A covers mechanical failures. Personal property endorsement. Option C covers high value items. And ordinance or law endorsement. Option D covers code compliance costs, not sewer backups. Question 27. What is the purpose of an umbrella policy in homeowners insurance? A. To provide coverage for the cost of home repairs. B. To cover damages that exceed the limits of other policies. C. To insure high-value personal property. D. To cover the cost of legal representation for property damage claims. Answer B. To cover damages that exceed the limits of other policies. Explanation: an umbrella policy provides additional liability coverage beyond the limits of other existing policies, such as homeowners and auto insurance. It does not cover home repairs. Option A. High-value personal property. Option C. Or legal representation costs. Option D. Directly. Question 20. What does a scheduled personal property endorsement typically cover? A. Additional living expenses while the home is repaired. B. Coverage for personal items with specified high values like jewelry or art. C. Coverage for damage to the home structure. D. Costs associated with home safety improvements. Answer B. Coverage for personal items with specified high values like jewelry or art. Explanation: a scheduled personal property endorsement provides coverage for high-value personal items such as jewelry or art which may not be fully covered under a standard policy. It does not cover additional living expenses. Option A. Structural damage. Option C. Or safety improvements. Option D. Question 29. Which of the following is an example of an unnamed peril that might be covered under a standard homeowner's insurance policy? A. Earthquake. B. Flood. C. Fire. D. Wear and tear. Answer C. Fire. Explanation: fire is an example of a named peril that is typically covered under standard homeowners insurance policies. Earthquake, option A, and flood, option B, are often excluded, and wear and tear, option D, is not covered as it is considered a maintenance issue. Question 30. What is the main purpose of a deductible in an insurance policy? A. To increase the amount of coverage provided. B. To reduce the insurer's exposure to small claims. C. To specify the maximum payout of the policy. D. To cover the cost of home inspections. Answer B. To reduce the insurer's exposure to small claims. Explanation: the purpose of a deductible is to reduce the insurer's exposure to small claims by requiring the policyholder to pay a certain amount out of pocket before insurance coverage applies. It does not increase coverage. Option A. Specify maximum payout. Option C. Or cover home inspections. Option D.